Today I'm going to share 4 tips on how I've kept my landscaping beds or flower beds, mulch beds, whatever you want to call them, virtually weed free this season. And I'm going to say the first 3 tips are things that I've done, ever since I've been in this house. But the last tip has been a game changer. So you definitely want to stick around till the end of the video. And I'm going to share that 4th tip, which is virtually eliminated 90% of the weeds in my flower beds this season. But let's go talk about the tips and I'll show you what the flower beds look like. First tip is you just got to get out there and hand pull those weeds. I've done this for years. It's one of the fastest ways you're going to get rid of weeds in any kind of natural area or landscaping bed. Get a knee pad, get down and dirty, pull those weeds out by hand, and you're going to have some instant gratification. So hand pulling is a really great tactic to eliminate weeds from your natural areas and your flower beds. Time for tip number 2. Use a non-selective herbicide, commonly known as Roundup. This is a Spectracide grass and weed killer. This is going to smoke out and kill virtually everything that it touches. So these kind of products are great for your landscaping beds and flower beds. They're not so great for your lawn, but in your landscape beds, use these to spray all those unsightly weeds, and you're gonna see results within just a short few days. So, all right, so let's check these beds out right now. So tip number 3 is fresh pine straw or fresh mulch. You take your pick, whichever you like. Which one do you prefer? Are you a pine straw person or are you a mulch person? Personally, I use both in my landscape, and I've got mulch back in my backyard. I'll show it to you. But around the house, I just always have been taught to use pine straw for some reason. I guess they say the wood mulch draws in termites because termites eat wood. Here in the South in Georgia, I've just always been a pine straw person. I like the way it looks. Which one do you like? A nice thick layer of pine straw or mulch is going to help suppress weeds in your natural areas, your landscaping and flower beds. What it's going to do is it's going to help to block out that sunlight from germinating those weeds, and it's going to help to also give a nice, neat, tidy appearance. I was really shocked this season though that this late in the spring, it's already June, I did not have hardly any weeds this year, and it was because of this last tip. I'm going to go show you what product I put down that has been an absolute game changer in my flower beds. Nope, it's not that one. Here it is, guys. Some of y'all have probably been using this for years. This is Preen Weed Preventer. So, pulling the weeds and smoking them out with that non-selective, it's going to do a great job eliminating weeds, but it's not going to eliminate the ones that you can't see. So just like we put in our lawns a pre-emergent, this is a pre-emergent for flower beds only. And you can buy this in this little jug. You can buy a bigger container if you want. I will link in the description below. And just like the lawn, what you want to do is you just go through and you go ahead and pull those weeds out. Then you're going to sprinkle this product down, and you're going to water it in just like a pre-emergent for your lawn. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a barrier in your flower beds to prevent a whole bunch of weeds from popping up. And I can say that this product has been an absolute game changer. I went from filling up, used to when I would clean up the beds, I would fill up this big huge landscaping cart with weeds. I'm talking mongoloid weeds that I would have. Last week when I cleaned it up, I didn't even fill up half of this bucket with just a couple little weeds that had sprouted. So, the biggest difference this year for me is adding, this to my arsenal and just sprinkling it around all of my natural areas and flower beds. It has saved me just a ton of time. Honestly, it's the first year I've ever used the pre-emergent in my natural areas or flower beds, and I was just shocked at how few weeds I had. Let me even show you a flower bed behind my house that has mulch, and I want to show you how few weeds. I have not hand pulled a weed this entire season. I have not sprayed any Roundup in these areas. This is just from the thick layer of red mulch and the Preen. All right, although not perfect, I want to show you this mulch area above my retaining wall. And yeah, there's a few weeds dotted here and there, but these areas that are bare right here used to just be full of weeds. And you see the Preen did a really nice job, a nice thick layer of mulch, and that pre-emergent has really just kept these beds like virtually weed free. There's a couple of small ones sprouting up here and there, and again, super easy to hand pull or just dot with a little bit of non-selective herbicide. So game changer. This little pine straw area by my deck was treated with Preen. I did a little bit of non-selective, but again, been virtually weed free. And I didn't even add any fresh straw. This needs to be replenished this year, but look how few weeds that we've got. Same thing with this little area right here. This one's really been a game changer for me, so I hope these 4 tips will help you in keeping a weed-free flower bed and landscaping beds. And really, ultimately, it's all about saving time and just applying that Preen product. Just like you apply a pre-emergent for the lawn, it's a pre-emergent for your flower bed, and it's just going to save you a lot of headaches and time later on in the season, keeping a nice, tidy, clean-looking landscape. That's what it's all about. So I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.